When you're ready to start building out your e-commerce system, your pricing plans for your job board, what you want to do is navigate to the job board admin, and that'll be under accounting. And so you'll see a few different options back here. When you want to get started using recurring subscription plans, those would be added under recurring plans. And if you want to do non-recurring job posts, that'll be located under this other non-recurring job post section. And so what we're going to start with is how to add subscription plans to your job board. And how the subscription plans work is they're made up of what we call different modules within the platform. And you give as much or as little access to each of these modules to the subscription plans. And then you set monthly, quarterly, annual prices like you see here. And so looking at it from the front end, just first before we get into the settings, this is what your employers and recruiters will see when they register on your job board, and they'll be prompted to choose one of the subscription plans that you add. And so these samples here show different named plans, the different prices here where you can add the different monthly, quarterly, annual prices. And then these are the different modules that are included that you, again, give as much or as little access to within these plans. So for example, if you do not want to include database searches within a plan, you just would not include that module. If you do want to include a number of job posts, you can do that. On a subscription plan, how it would work if you give them 10 job posts per month, for example, those would just renew every month. So they would be charged every month, and those number of job posts would renew every month. So going back to the back end here, again, under accounting and recurring plans, you'll see some sample ones set in here already. When you get started, this section will be blank. And so what you're going to want to do is go up here and add a plan. And then from the add a plan page, there's a few options that you will have to be, required to fill out. So you can add a different plan name here, name it whatever you would like. The plan number, again, it's just an internal number, so you can name it or use a number, whatever you would like. If you do want the plan to be active for people to be able to purchase it, you'll leave that as active. And the weight, this is where it'll show up in those pricing plans. So for example, when you're looking at the front end here of those pricing plans, this plan right here would be weighted more than this plan over here. So for example, think of these numerically as 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's how you'll be able to order them. And so again, going back here to the back end, you can label this as 4 if you want. The privacy or the private checkbox is if you want to add a plan, for example, maybe you have a very large or unlimited plan that you want available to some select companies, but you don't necessarily want companies to register and be able to purchase that. So if you check the private box, you'll have access to assign the plan to companies, but they won't have access to come in and purchase that plan on their own. If you want to set this up as a trial plan where as soon as a company registered, this will be assigned to them, you would check the trial plan box. What you'll see happen when you do check the trial plan box down here, if I uncheck it, you'll see that you will be prompted to add a price set. If you check this plan as a trial plan, you will not be prompted to add a pricing plan because again, once an employer registers, they'll automatically be put on this plan. They will not be prompted to add a credit card until they want to upgrade to a purchased plan. So I'm going to uncheck this box. The company type, if you want to assign a pricing plan to a specific company type, you can do that. How this would work is on the front end when an employer comes in to register on your site, on this page, for example, and they choose employer, recruiter, academic, or whatever your company types are. If they choose employer, they would only see those pricing plans that are associated with employers. Same for recruiters and so on. So if you don't want to, specify one or the other, just leave this as any company type. The showing in the company dashboard, this would show the different usage options built into the plan. Some clients choose not to show those, otherwise it'll just show the pricing plan name and then the price that the company has paid, but not the individual features that are included in it. These are other plans that will start to be built out as you add plans. This, when you first start, will be blank. But this is basically saying that if somebody is on this plan, if somebody is on one of these other plans, they'll be able to upgrade to this new plan that you're adding. So next up is going to be pricing. So you'll come down here and click add a price set. You'll see your site is default here. And then again, you'll see these monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, annual prices. If you do want to add pricing for all or any of them, what you'll do is just check the box and you'll see this field becomes editable, so you can type right in there. If you don't want these to show, you just wouldn't check those. Otherwise, you can check, monthly and annual. If you just want to do that, you can do something like that. Next up, once you add the pricing, is going to be adding the different features or limitations to this plan. So those are the different modules we referenced that are included. So again, looking at it from the front end, these are the different modules that you can add. So the different names here. And then jumping back here, you'll see the same list of those from here. So at minimum, what you'll want to add to plans is number of employees, because by default, when a company joins the site, they don't have access to anything. So you'll need to give them some type of access. So number of employees, again, at minimum, you're going to do 1. If you're working with larger employers or companies that might have an account where they have multiple people logging in, you can definitely increase to that, something like 10, or more, or make it unlimited if you don't want to limit any of that. And then the different type, generally for the company employees, what you're going to use is concurrent. And that means that, for example, if a company has 3 users, 3 employees within their plan, somebody leaves the company, they can replace that user without having to add additional employees to the plan. So that's generally what we recommend for the company employees module. And then this box here, show on sites, you'll see your site listed here. What this does is if you check it, it will appear in this listing here on the front end. If you do not check it, it would not show up here as one of these line items. So this is a nice option if perhaps you want to give an employer access to maybe do the database searches, but you don't necessarily want to call it out here in terms of the number that they get. Otherwise, but most of our clients just do choose to show all of those so they can kind of see what they're getting when they're purchasing a plan on your site. So next, what you're going to do is you can keep adding limitations to the plan, as many as you want. In addition to the company employees, the next major one that you'll definitely want to add is the job postings. Again, this is giving the employers the number of jobs that they can post. So if you want to do unlimited, you can check that. If you do want to put a hard quantity in there, you can do that. For job postings, what you'll probably want to do is either these total usage limitation per month, or the total usage limitation for a whole subscription period. So for example, if you are setting up an annual plan, what this would do if you checked 10 jobs for the total whole subscription period is that your users would only have 10 jobs per year. Whereas if you do total usage limitation per month, every month those 10 jobs would renew. So it's really just up to you how you want to set your business model. So again, company employees, job postings, those are the 2 major ones you definitely want to add to your plans. Some of the other ones you'll definitely want to add are resume database searches if you're using that as an upsell opportunity in your plans. Again, you can make it unlimited and say how many they can do per month or for that whole subscription period. Next one will be profile views. So this is the option to allow your employers to, once they do a database search of candidates within your database, they'll be able to click on the candidate's name and view the profile. Next one you'll want to add is emails. These are the emails that your employers are able to send to candidates that they want to reach out to. So maybe they do a database search, they find a candidate they want to reach out to. They'll be able to compose a message and contact that candidate. Next limitation or feature you'll want to add, definitely recommend adding resume file downloads as another one. Those are where, again, a company finds a candidate that they are interested in. They can either contact them if they have emails included in their plan, or they can download their resume or CV if they have this, again, included in their plan. And then some of the other ones that you can leverage within plans, recommend featured job postings. Those put the job postings higher up in the job search results, and they also put the job postings on the homepage. So for example, as you're looking here on the homepage of one of the sites, you'll see featured jobs are located here, so they get a little bit more visibility. And then also when a candidate is doing a job search, you'll see that the featured jobs also get bumped up to the top of the search results, and they get flagged with this featured job. So they get, again, a little bit more visibility. And then the other module that you can definitely leverage is a featured company. It's called Company Featured Module. What that does is, as you'll see here on the job search results, it puts their company's logo right at the top of the search results. And then going back to the home page, it shows the company logo as well as the number of jobs. So again, those are getting a little bit more visibility. When you're building out your plans, sometimes you might want to do, a basic subscription plan and maybe a premium subscription plan that includes the featured company or the featured job, and perhaps you price it a little bit more. So once you're done building out your pricing plans, you can click Save. And then when you come back to Accounting Recurring Plans, what you'll see is all of those plans are listed and available for you to view and edit.